Welcome to Pioneer Island Sports Roundtable. I'm your host, Jake. Joining me today are Aaron and Emmanuel. How are you guys doing today?
Pretty good.
Doing good. All right. Well, there hasn't been too much happening in the sports world lately with the NFL, coming to an end. The NBA is near the tail end of its season. MLB hasn't officially started yet. But one thing that has started is the NCAA college basketball tournament. March Madness, as some people know it mainly. Have you guys been paying attention to March Madness at all?
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I've been so far.
Yeah, so the Volunteers have made their third straight Sweet 16 appearance. They are set to play Kentucky this Friday. They played UCLA as well as Wofford, and they had some pretty good performances in those games. Aaron, what are your thoughts on those?
Man, I think it's pretty good. I think it's a good time for Tennessee to start getting hot now because Tennessee's kind of been a little bit iffy throughout the season. Like sometimes they'll play great, sometimes it's Tennessee. They're gonna play bad sometimes. But especially like the play against Wofford, Chazanier dropping 29 points. I mean, it's just a great time for him to start getting hot. Same thing against UCLA. He dropped 20. And, man, the threes they were hitting after the second half in that Tennessee game against UCLA. Dude, I swear any shot they'd take, it was going in. And I don't know. I feel like Tennessee has a great run going up into this tournament because they're playing Kentucky next. We had an easy Wofford matchup. UCLA, we struggled a little bit in the first half, like the first 5 or 6 minutes, but we obviously won by 12, 15 points around that margin. And just it feels like every single player is just dialed in. We have amazing defense. Offense runs beautifully, and everyone's heating up right at the perfect time. Everyone's healthy. I really like the matchup against Kentucky. I feel like this is really the biggest game of Tennessee's whole organization. It's gonna be a huge win just because freaking hate Kentucky. It's gonna be a huge win for Rick Barnes, taking us back to the third Sweet 16, and I feel like if we lose that, it's going to be one of our biggest losses we ever suffer. But I'm confident Tennessee can win that with the team being really hot as of right now.
And you mentioned Rick Barnes. There are some rumors floating around that Rick Barnes, he's in his 70s and might be looking to retire at the end of this season. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Tennessee split their series with Kentucky earlier in this season, losing to them in Lexington, but beating them back in Knoxville. Emmanuel, how do you think the Vols will fare against the Wildcats when they play them on Friday?
Well, to be fair, as far as I know, they have been beat. The first time they played in the tournament, they played against the Texas Longhorns, and so far they were able to make a lot of wins against the Texas Longhorns with 83-72, and then I feel like this is where I feel like the Tennessee Vols are going to become really confident against every team they win in the tournament. And if I feel confident that they're going to beat against Texas, I feel like there is a chance that they're probably going to play against the Wildcats because as far as I know, the Tennessee Vols have one of the best sports here. They are pretty good with basketball, and had it not been for Chazier, I feel like he would be able to make a lot of good progress and would score a lot more points, just as well as some of the other teams in the Wildcats. Either way, I really wish good luck to the Vols as they play against the Wildcats this Friday.
Yeah, don't we all? We mentioned the NFL at the beginning in the introduction. NFL free agency has started. There have been some trades made, some signings made, and I'm curious to know what your guys' thoughts are about, being from Tennessee and being around here. Obviously, not everybody's Tennessee Titans fans, but the Titans do hold the #1 pick in the NFL draft, and it's kind of hard not to hear about that, especially when you're from Tennessee. So who do you guys think that the Titans should take with their pick?
With the first-round pick, I think they should take anyone but a quarterback. I truly feel like a quarterback's not the issue within that Tennessee team. They need to shop Will Levis, but if they use that first-round pick to draft Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders, it's truly the dumbest organization, I feel like, in the whole NFL. I just don't think a quarterback's necessary to draft. I just don't think there's any good quarterbacks to draft as of right now. There's just so many better options. I feel like you could go better with wide receiver, especially offensive line. They could definitely improve up on. Even some running back options. I don't know. I just don't think, because I know they've been shopping that quarterback position. They are looking to trade Will Levis. But if they draft a quarterback, man, dude, I'm going to be mad, bro. I'm not even a Tennessee fan, and we're going to be the worst organization.
Emmanuel, who do you think? Do you think that they should take a quarterback, or do you think another position would be good for them?
You know, as far as I know with the Tennessee Titans, I hear that some people say that their least favorite NFL season is probably the Tennessee Titans. And either way, I feel like the best way they should do is probably go with the quarterback, just because I feel like then they would become more confident to like win. And in a way, I feel like they can gain more points, kind of like how they do with the Tennessee Vols in a way. And I really do also think that a quarterback would work, because that way you could have some kind of backup plan in case something kind of goes wrong or you probably don't score a lot of more points. But either way, I think a quarterback would work perfectly.
Man, what's your thoughts? I want to know your thoughts.
It'd definitely be interesting. I mean, you think about the Titans. The Titans really haven't had a good quarterback since they had Ryan Tannehill in 2020. And it's kind of crazy to say that Ryan Tannehill was a good quarterback, because you look throughout his career, he had a career-defining play down in Miami with the Miami Miracle. And then you look at him now, and he hasn't been on a team in 2 years. The Titans aren't really a team that let their quarterbacks pan out. Me personally, I was a big fan of Malik Willis. I think Malik Willis could have been a really good player if they would have let him play out, and they would have given him the help that they gave Will Levis. If Malik Willis would have been given the mentorship that Will Levis was given. So I don't think they should take a quarterback, but it will not shock me if they take a quarterback. I think if you're the Titans, you got to take either Abdul Carter out of Penn State and pair him up with Jeffrey Simmons, or you got to take Travis Hunter. I think those are your two best options if you want to build a team around. And then you could always go out next year and draft yourself another quarterback, or there are some quarterbacks you could look at in the second round. You have players like Jalen Milroe or Quinn Ewers out of Texas. So I think that the quarterback depth in this class is very deep, and I don't think it's something that you would need to spend your first overall pick on, in my opinion, at least.
You know, going off of that, I definitely 100% agree. I don't think a quarterback should be taken in the first round. They need to be shopping Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter. I feel like they'd be two great fits within that defense, both offense and defense for Travis Hunter. And within the quarterback, I feel like they could shop that position. Like, you could look at Aaron Rodgers, Kirk Cousins, or even like I've heard the rumors of Brock Purdy going away, but I don't think that's going to happen. And like, again, I agree. I think Malik Willis should have been given a better opportunity. They gave up on him so fast. I mean, we saw it with him when he's playing with the Packers. Like, he's playing good whenever Jordan Love was out. I mean, I also 100% agree. Like, look in the second round for quarterback options. I think Jalen Milroe would absolutely fit in with that offense. I feel like they kind of need like a Lamar Jackson type of quarterback, someone who can pass but also run. I feel like Jalen Milroe is a perfect example of that. I feel like it may take him just a little bit to get into it. I'd say maybe a year or just a couple games of the season. I feel like he'd start, feeling that NFL role. But no, I wanted to say that I completely agree, and I feel like I'm not going to be shocked if they take a quarterback in the first round. I can definitely see it happening, but I don't think it's the best option for the organization as a whole.
So our third and final topic today will be we'll be talking about the NBA. Some big milestones have been hit recently. LeBron James, who is very heavily in the GOAT debate, just recently passed 50,000 points over his entire career, as well as Steph Curry recently hit the marker for 4,000 3-points made in his entire career. So my question to you guys is, where would you rank Steph Curry as far as point guards go, and where would you rank LeBron James in the GOAT debate? The three, I feel like the three main players in the GOAT debate are Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and LeBron James. So I'm curious to know what your guys' thoughts would be on those. Emmanuel, I'm going to start with you here.
Okay. So to be fair, I feel like if I had to rank, I feel like I would rank Steph Curry in like first spot because Steph Curry does sometimes have some good ideas of what he's doing in terms of a defense game. For example, in the NBA, where he has like so much good shooters and so much good points here. I feel like in a way he kind of has some good strategy.
Yeah, I would agree. I would say that Steph Curry, even now when he broke out, I don't remember exactly what year that was, but from the year he broke out to even now would be the heart and soul of that Golden State team. That Golden State team.
Man, you could say he broke out his rookie year.
Yeah, you really could. That Golden State team lives and dies by Steph Curry, essentially. Aaron, where would you rank them?
Steph Curry is definitely the best point guard of all time. It's not even close. Like his points, like there was a stat I saw the other day. It was Steph Curry. He hit like what? What was that? He hit like 4,000.
Yeah, 4,000 3 points made.
And then second place was I don't even remember who it was, but it was like not even half the amount. So I just think he's just beyond the level of GOATs for the point guard discussion. He's the greatest of all time. I'd say second. I'd say like my top two, Steph Curry and Magic Johnson. I'd put Russell Westbrook at 3. But no, I just feel like Steph Curry is truly the greatest point guard the NBA's ever seen. Just the whole sport of basketball has ever seen. And then going on to LeBron, I'll die on the hill. LeBron's the GOAT. He's passed Michael Jordan. I feel like he's passed Michael Jordan in all 3 teams he's played for. He played for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He brought that team out of poverty. Miami Heat, he played amazing with Dwayne Wade. He did lose the finals against the Mavericks. It was pretty bad, but even on the Lakers, man, like if you just separate all of these times he's on his team, this is just a separate career each time. And I just feel like that's just something that you can put into the GOAT debate, especially for the longevity that he's had. He's been in the league since 2003. Dude, you don't see anything like that. And for him, how old he is, he's still dunking. He's still playing like a 20-year-old player. LeBron James is the greatest player of all time.
Emmanuel, your thoughts?
To be fair, although I think LeBron James is also pretty good as Steph Curry, although the one kind of small problem I had is sometimes he doesn't really sometimes have a good like strategy or plan that he's trying to do. But I can give him some credit for making up more points just as well as Steph Curry, such as during the NBA games he scores at least 300 points, but Steph Curry he scores more. But I still think both of them do pretty good job though. Although I think Steph Curry was probably the best one.
Yeah. Steph Curry, I would agree, definitely the best. I'd agree with both of you guys that Curry is probably the best point guard to ever step foot on the court. And I think that the greatest of all time debate between Jordan and LeBron got harder when LeBron broke the scoring record and gets even harder now that he is adding on to that. So that's going to do it for your Pioneer Ion Sports Roundtable today. I'm your host, Jake, joined by Emmanuel and Aaron, and we'll see you next time.